Hi good people, I hope you're well. Today we're going to talk about Matt Walsh. Is he leaving YouTube? That's the part we're going to discuss. For people who do not know who Matt Walsh is, Matt Walsh is a Republican gentleman that talks about different things, culture, anything cultural, religious, political issues, and is a Republican, full-blown Republican. So talks a lot about a lot of different. He talks about all these different things that he doesn't agree about. He has a YouTube channel that has 2.3 million subscribers. He also works with the Daily Wire. I don't know if it's with 4. I don't know. So the people that work with the Daily Wire, Ben Shapiro has close to 6 million subscribers. Michael Knowles, Brett Cooper, Candace, I don't like this woman, Andrew. So anyway, all of these people are Republican. He did this documentary at some point. I think he did it. What is a woman? A lot of people actually talked about. It's a question today because apparently to be a woman, you just have to declare yourself a woman these days. If you're a man, you decide to identify. That's the term they use, identify. So if you say, I identify that I am a woman, clearly you're a woman and people should respect you. As a woman, they should call you she and just go continuing like, you're a woman with a PP down there. But you're a woman anyway. So he has done multiple videos about Dilan Mulvaney, since Dilan decided to be in representing Nike women, and try to sell us bras, sports bras. And he also actually did this ad for Bud Light. Both ad backfired and people were pissed because clearly Dylan was trying to take us for fools, make fun of us, the women, and still sell this. The only winner in all of this situation was Dylan because Bud Light actually lost more than $8 billion in a couple of days. People are boycotting Nike and Bud and a couple of brand that Dylan has worked with, including Tampax. Yes, because apparently nowadays, if a man decides to come and promote a woman, that is something that only women can actually use. That is just normal. That is the new normal. So men are the new woman, if you can actually say it like that. So this is where we're at today. So a couple of days ago, today is the 21st April 2023. A couple of days ago, Matt's Twitter has been hacked. And after being hacked, apparently he got back access to his Twitter, but the person who actually did this has now access to his emails for the last 20 years, his passwords probably, because there was also a rumor that his YouTube account had been hacked. In the midst of all this, YouTube decided to demonetize his videos on Dylan. Yes, this gentleman that wants to sell us bras and beer. So they say that he said a couple of things and that they don't agree with, not they don't agree with that, but he didn't follow the policies. So we're going to listen to a speech that he did to denunciate what YouTube actually did. And we're going to listen to this and we're going to actually comment this.
Back 12, 13, 14, 15 years ago, publishing their findings under a headline promising to reveal my sordid past. Now, these institutional efforts to silence me and us have continued all the way up to this week. So in fact, less than a day before I was hacked, we received word from YouTube that I had committed a series of alleged violations of their terms of service and also of their ad partnership guidelines, which will now lead to my demonetization and potentially being banished forever from the platform. Now, YouTube's ploy, what we have to understand about big tech, their ploy is to be intentionally vague about their guidelines. They won't tell you. They'll tell you you violated something, but they won't tell you exactly what it was or how that thing violates the guideline, because they want to afford themselves the latitude to demonetize and deplatform you whenever they feel like it. And that's really what's going on here, of course. They just selected me and they said, well, it's your turn, and we're going to look for a reason. In fact, they did tell us, though, they cited 3. There were a number of violations they claimed. They'd only tell us about 3 of them. All 3 of them, coincidentally, had to do with Dilan Mulvaney. Now,
misgendering her.
I don't know, just coincidentally, YouTube decided you're not allowed to say anything about Dilan Mulvaney. YouTube has decided that I'm not allowed to use biologically accurate language when discussing Dilan, or presumably any other trans-identified person. And for what it's worth, it does not, for what it's worth, it doesn't seem that other channels are being held to this standard right now. So we were told.
Well, I think it's starting to actually happen on multiple channels. They're trying to make sure that people use the right pronouns for men trying to be women. Yes.
By sources at YouTube that a decision to target our channel had come from the highest levels of the company. And they're looking for something, a reason to take us out. Now, of course, there is a way out of this jam. You know, the big tech, they're very generous, and they'll give you a potential off-ramp. So if I simply respect the preferred pronouns and I stop accurately gendering people, then I can likely continue to do my show on the platform. I can get it remonetized after, a short probation.
All right, so this is what he said. He said that the people at YouTube cited that he should actually call Dilan a she, those pronouns thing, because what is crazy is that in 2023, where there are shootings in America every day, the most important issue that is to date is giving pronouns to people. That is the most important thing in America to date in 2023. The issue that I have with that is I actually got this video from the people I copied it from the Majority Report here, and Sam something, who are, these people are now Democrats. So they're like against Matt, because apparently today, if you are a Democrat, you're enemies with the Republican and vice versa. You can't actually be agreeing with some of the things, and it can't be nuanced. It's just one way or the other. People have created a platform. YouTube has their platform, they have their rules and regulations, and they're allowed to do whatever they want. It can go against the amendments of the United States, but anyway, it is their company, and okay, no problem. Every companies have their rules and regulations. So they're allowed to actually, if a man decided to identify as a woman, we want you to use the right pronouns. That's their right, fine. What I think is crazy is if somebody decides to become a public figure, which Dilan decided to do, he decided to put his person out there, because he can't even say himself. For me, if you decide to put yourself out there, and Dilan has decided to put self out there, people can talk about you. If you don't like how Beyonce dressed, you can actually say, I don't like how Beyonce dressed. Some channel on YouTube use the N-word freely. They don't say the N-word, they say the word. They have never been shut down for that. Nothing. Some people are going to say that these people using these words are black people, but they're using it against black people. And that's the part that I have issue with, because they can clearly see that a whole lot of people in America, for Bud to lose $8 billion, a whole lot of people in America did not support Dilan doing what he did not support the company using Dilan for them to buy beer, for them to sell bras, for them to sell Tampax. And I'm actually confused, because if people are ready to unsupport these brands, and now YouTube is also trying to just go along this, are you not afraid to lose viewers? Because if Matt decides to actually leave YouTube, yes, the Daily War is still going to be there, and Ben Shapiro and the other people of the team are still going to do what they do, but it is going to go with a couple of people. And banning people for freedom of speech for me is actually crazy. Because if men can come on YouTube and say a whole lot of nonsense to us about being women, and we're not allowed to respond, that is actually against freedom of speech. And that's a surprising thing for me. Where is the logic? If they're allowed to freedom of speech, we should be allowed to freedom of speech. It's just that. We're not even talking about Dilan particularly here, but I just think that it's crazy. Every case is different because I can understand why they actually banned Andrew Tate. Matt, and again, I am not at all Republican. I am against guns. I'm against so many things. But on this issue, I think he has it spot on. When you can actually make fun of women, it goes to the question now, is YouTube not supporting women? I think this is actually pretty crazy. I don't know how this is going to end because I don't know Matt this well, but I don't think that he will actually give up his freedom of speech and decide to call Dilan and Leah Thomas using pronouns such like she as pronouns for them. I would like to see how this rolls out because I think it's going to be pretty great. We are talking about freedom of speech here, given to some people and not other people. I think this is what it boils down to. Does YouTube have their right to say this is our platform? Absolutely. But to me, this is not the issue here. Dilan is a public figure. Dilan goes out and say I'm a she, and people are allowed to answer back and say no, you're not a she. It's a discussion, and people are allowed to have this discussion out in the open. So we're gonna see what happens. So we don't know what Matt is going to do because apparently he gets approximately, I don't know where I saw this, but he gets from YouTube every month 100 grand every month from YouTube, which is kind of crazy. It feels like, I think that at this rate, even I am going to go and work with the Daily Wire because this is quite a lot of money. I'll even be the cameraman just to make like 10 grand a month. That just, it's like 10 grand is enough for me. But I don't know, is Matt really going to give up his 100 grand monthly? Obviously, I'm sure that he has money in the bank, he has properties, and he has other platform where he can actually go and freely speak. I'm very curious about what is going to happen next. But do you think that YouTube is right, or do you think Matt is right? And do you think that there's a nuance about all of this? What do you think? So you can put your comment down below. You can like, subscribe, share. You can unlike. Freedom of speech, freedom of rights. There's all sort of freedom here. So you can actually unlike the video if you don't like it. That was me, Faceless. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.